Morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Let's pull up our timer.
Morning, Cynthia and Deborah.
All
All
right.
right, see you in 30 minutes.
Time's up.
We can't hear you. All right, let's reset the thing.
Now can you hear me? So are you going again? Oh, it's going. Okay. Everybody right.
Time's up.
Deborah figured it out.
Oh, good.
Yay. Templar culture. I need a name for my main character's mom's coffee shop, and she's obsessed with French Canada. And I think I'm going to call it Café du
Cafe
Soleil.
Olay.
Like
That
Cirque
works.
du Soleil, but
Yeah, that's cute.
is that funny?
Yeah.
I wonder if Cirque du Soleil is French Canadian or like French Canadian or French.
Mhm.
I'm going to look.
I am.
It is Canadian. I don't know why I thought that, but I had a feeling. But it's a Canadian entertainment company in Quebec.
Perfect. I am getting very into the idea of making income streams right now.
Nice.
I found another possible one, and I messaged you on Facebook about it that I think I could totally easily do.
Does anybody know? Do you know if there's a way to make Google Docs automatically put an accent on an E?
I don't know. I'm not sure. All right. What do we have going on today?
Mastermind.
Yes.
Mastermind is closed for the year, but if anybody is feeling some FOMO and you're on this call, there's only 6 people. So if you're on this call, like email Adrienne immediately and she'll let you in.
That starts at 11.
It starts in an hour.
All right. What else? Today we have, besides that, we have a sci-fi fantasy co-working call in the Guild at 2 p.m. Eastern, a write-in at 6 p.m. Eastern, poetry co-working call at 8 p.m. Oh, I don't know if that's happening. Poetry co-working call.
No, I don't think so. Zach's not well.
Okay, so no poetry co-working call today. The blogging on Medium co-working call at 8 p.m. Eastern, the midnight write at 11:45 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
Oh,
I might be able to, Teresa, but I don't know how to put the accent on the E. Does anybody know how to do that? Like, I don't know how to do it at all.
I don't know. Usually if you, I don't know.
I'll have to Google it and see how to put an accent on the E in the first place. I'm not going to be using the word that often, but I think Café du Soleil is funny. Like like something she might have named her coffee shop if she had a thing for French Canada.
Yeah.
Leanne, I've been thinking about you. I was reading yesterday about British Columbia's flooding. Are you okay? Leanne, or British Columbia is like separated from the rest of Canada because of flooding or something like that. I'm a little surprised it's not more in the news. Like, it's not a bigger deal. It's pretty bad. Like, if you Google it, it's pretty bad.
Wow.
And I was worried about Leanne. I'm glad you're here, Leanne. Adrienne, I hate to ask you to do this, but during this 10-minute break, can you send out the reminder link for the mastermind?
Yes. Why can't you send it out?
Because I don't even know where the links are or anything. It'll be faster if you do it. Yeah, awful. I looked up the pictures and it's huge. In the US, I only saw it because someone mentioned on Facebook how it's not in the news. And I was like, what? And I Googled it and I was like, holy cow, how is that not everywhere? Like, not the biggest news there is. It's like awful. Carly, I'm glad it's a big. Are you in Canada too, Carly? Yeah, it's like crazy. Like all of British Columbia has been separated from Canada.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awful.
All right, we ready?
I'm glad you're here, Leanne. I was really worried about you.
Go.
Okay, we'll see you guys in 10 minutes. Send that email, please.
Alrighty. There you are.
Oh, I figured it out, Deborah. Thank you. I figured it out. Oh,
how did everybody do?
Well, I'm very happy with how this story is turning out. It's it feels good.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. It's more inspired by your sister and her friends than I expected it to be. Although the main character reminds me a bit of you when you were her age. This is fun. I really like this story.
Good. I feel like a majority of your younger stories are inspired by Ruby.
Only The Astonishing Maybe. Center of Gravity was far more inspired by you and Angel.
Yeah.
I don't think that the main character from The Astonishing Maybe, from Center of Gravity is like Ruby much at all.
All right. Jason got 1,253 words this morning. Good job.
Nice. Good job, Jason. So my book 312 is out on submission. And I guess my agent talked to my editor at Macmillan and she wanted to see it. So that's good.
Nice.
Yeah. Carly did a few sprints this morning. She's at 200. Oh my God, I can't talk. 2,227 so far for today. Good job. Jason, is 12 Days of Murder your book? It comes out on Tuesday. Make sure you give us the link. Message it to me or Adrian so we can share it, because you can't share it in YouTube yourself. In the comments, it doesn't show up, but we'll share it on Tuesday.
We will.
How exciting. 12 Days of Murder. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, today in Mastermind, we're talking about choosing keywords and categories for your book. So those of you who are in the Mastermind, don't forget that you can either come and listen to the lesson, or you can go to any Ninja Writers team members room and just ask questions or get feedback or comment,
Well, you can do both. Either,
or you can do both.
You can do one or the other. You can do both.
You don't have to do one or the other, but you can do oh my gosh. Everyone's rooms will be open for the entire 2 hours. So you don't have to come to the lesson. You can watch the replay of it if you want to sneak into someone's room and talk to them before there's a crowd. Okay, let's see. 2,120 since 9 a.m.
Nice.
And for Cynthia and Leanne got 164 words. The blog post I will publish tonight is regarding the flooding. Oh, yeah, that's good. How awful. I looked at those pictures and it was just terrible. I watched a video. It's awful. Carly, are you in Canada?
She said she was in Ontario. She's kind of close to us, actually. She's in Ontario.
In Ontario?
Ontario.
That's yeah, that's where we almost went into Canada, but just barely. They escorted us, and then they kicked us out with an escort
on accident.
We accidentally went to Canada.
But they gave us, put on their police lights and everything.
Yeah, I think Niagara Falls is in Ontario, right?
I think so.
Yeah, they did not want us in our American germs in their country with no passport. They were like, no, thank you.
They did.
Have a nice day back in America.
I was talking about I ended up sharing what I have of my, or like my, I don't know, 5 key plot points or whatever, what I'm working on for my story that I'm struggling with right now
Mm-hmm.
that is frustrating me. And last night at the workshop, because there was time and we were waiting for um, somebody else to join us, and they wanted me to share something, and it was so awkward, but it was actually really helpful. And I think that Lana gave me some feedback about that she felt like the character issue is that my main character is not present enough in the story. That like I've built up Daisy's character too much, and that maybe my story, either I need to build up Winter more, or maybe my story is more of like a ensemble cast story and not like a one point of view story, you know?
Mm-hmm. Your story has a Riverdale feel to me.
It does. And that's what I want. And the problem is that I think Daisy's story is the strongest one in the whole thing, but I don't want her to be the main character. And Winter, no, Winter's just like observing.
Right.
She doesn't have, I need to build up her storyline. Like, I don't think it's enough for her to just like be in love with somebody. I think I need to, I don't know. She doesn't have a strong enough character arc, I think. Which actually happens to me quite often. I think I tend to get more into side characters than I do the main character. Even when I'm reading,
What
I
are
like side
Grammys?
characters more. No, Grammys.
Oh, no.
Jermies.
Jermies. Oh, yeah. No, I think that I mean, because so here's what happens when you're on the U.S. side and you're going towards, like, Niagara Falls is directly on the border, like one side of it's in the U.S. and one side's in Canada, and if you take the wrong exit off the freeway, you are just in Canada. Like, there's no way to turn around. You can't change your mind. And I was like, well, dang. And I don't think that the U.S. would put anybody in prison for that. I think they would do exactly what Canada did, which was to take my ID and like make sure I wasn't, I don't know, some sort of, I don't even know what, and then like escort me back around, like just in a big U-turn back to the U.S. side, and then the U.S. side also had to take my ID and Adrian's ID, and Ruby was only 15; she didn't have an ID. Um, and like listen to my story, and then they did like a background search. Like,
Yeah.
luckily there's
Over.
nothing in my background, because I don't, like, it could have been, it was a little scary, but they're like, Canada had lights going, they like
And it was surprisingly easy to accidentally end up in Canada. Is
it
all
was because
we
there's
just
nowhere,
missed
you get
a
off the
freeway
freeway
exit, and we
and
were
then
in
you are
Canada.
at the Canadian border crossing, and there's no way, like, there's no like, oops, I didn't mean to do this, turn around, like, none. Like, if you get off on that freeway exit, you are going to Canada, if you like it or not.
Jason sharing a jogger who shared a story of a jogger who accidentally crossed a U.S. border from British Columbia and was detained for 2 weeks.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is. Was he detained going into Canada? Like, did Canada detain him, or did the
No, I
U.S.
bet you
detain
he
him
was
when he was
detained
leaving?
coming into the U.S.
Probably. I read that it's pretty easy to get into Canada, but it's hard, like, without paperwork, but it's harder to get back into the United States if you don't have that paperwork.
Well, we didn't. I think the biggest issue is that we didn't have our passports, because we weren't planning on going to Canada. Well, we would have loved to. Whenever I go to Niagara Falls, I want to go to Canada, because that side is nicer. It's just the front side of the falls, So, like, we always want to go to Canada, but I knew that they weren't allowing Americans in. So,
we did not mean to go to Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason said she was detained by the U.S. That's not surprising.
They do, Jason. I mean, I am in the U.S. Pennsylvania is part of the United
PA
States.
have the yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I need to get a Pennsylvania driver's license.
You do, and a registration for your car before you get a ticket.
Oh, but I know. Well, I have registration for my car. It's
No,
just
but you're not allowed to have like an out-of-state registration forever. You get in trouble. We had a big old scandal in our town though, because in PA, when you get your car registered, you go to a notary and you pay them, and then they register your car for you with the DMV. And our local notary took like hundreds of people's money and didn't register their cars, including ours. So our truck does not have registration, but we paid for it. And so this like city just said they're working on it and that no police officer will pull us over. But like, I don't know if that means we can't leave. Like they said, just carry around the paperwork that shows that you paid for the registration. And I'm like, okay, but like, are we ever? Because it was expensive, like $300.
Did you ever get it?
Not yet. But
Wow.
the FBI got involved in everything.
Do you have to repay for it, or?
No. But they have to give us our registration, and they've got hundreds of people to process, so they haven't done ours yet.
Wow.
Ours was like right at the very end of before she got shut down. So I'm assuming they're starting at the top, like the first people she went through. But
wow,
scandal in a small town. But yeah, you can get like you can get an enhanced driver's license here that is like a passport. We should do that so that we can just go to Canada whenever.
Yeah,
we're like 2 hours from Buffalo, which is the U.S. side of Niagara Falls. I love Buffalo.
I know. We were going to go to Toronto for...
I think we're going to wait until it's a little warmer.
We are, but I feel like Toronto's a Christmas place. Like the best. I feel like it's one of those places that like the most magical time to go is during Christmas. But
possibly, but I feel like that's going to be a killer drive in this weather. Like we've already had
only 3 hours.
No, but I mean 3 hours like north to the cold. I don't know. I think we should wait for the first time we go anyway. Oh, like you do in New York. Yeah, you said in the U.S. I'm like, Jason, PA is a state. Albany is like, I think another couple 100 miles from Buffalo. I'm not sure.
I think Jason's closer to New York City.
Oh, Carly says no about Toronto and Christmas.
It's not.
I just feel like it's going to be miserable. I know that even going as far north as Buffalo, which is north of us, and like the difference in the coldness and the weather is awful. Buffalo. Like I remember I got an Airbnb when you and Grandma came to visit before you moved here in January in Buffalo, and it was like $20. I'm not joking, $20, and I was like, wow. Buffalo is cheap. And that's because then I had to stay there overnight in January, and it was miserable. It was so wet and cold and icky. Nobody wants to be in Buffalo in January. That's why you can get an Airbnb for $20. It was terrible. Remember, we couldn't even get out of the car to look at the Niagara Falls. We had to just drive by and
yeah.
It was like awful.
During that trip, we went to Canada, the Canada side, and we ate
that trip we did, and with our passports, and it was nice.
Yeah.
The border guard asked me if I had any explosives in my car, and I was like, I really badly, but I didn't because I didn't want to get in trouble. But I really wanted to ask him, like, does anyone say yes? Like, does anyone I do? My car is full of explosives. Can I come in anyway? I don't blame you, Jason. Although I guess when Kevin was a kid, Warren had real bad lake effect snow, and it does not anymore because of global warming. It's nicer in the winter here than it used to be.
Yeah. I feel like the last 2 days have been kind of weird though, and I wonder if it's from lake effect. So it snowed a lot. Just snowed a lot yesterday, but the day before that, it was like strangely warm outside. Like when you walked outside, you could feel how warm it was. And then it kept saying, "You like tonight it's gonna get snow," and I'm like, "It's like 60 degrees and warm." Like,
Yeah, we're still getting kind of fallish weather.
yeah, it
But
dropped very
Kevin, when he
quickly.
was a kid, he had to like dig himself out of his house and stuff a lot in the winter. And we haven't had snow like that. Not at all since we've been here. Less snow than in Reno, I think.
I'm gonna have to start figuring out what to do with my car because where I park never gets sun. So when it
Your
starts,
car, you have to start parking on the street.
I know, but then I have to start moving it all the time, like to the other side. I don't want to do that.
Wonder if you can put like boards down to park on top of.
Maybe. I'm wondering if I can switch parking.
Her wheels
One of
freeze.
my
Her
neighbors.
car got frozen to her driveway last year.
Yeah, I
She had
was
to
stuck.
leave it there for like a couple weeks.
Yeah, it couldn't move. Kevin had to come and get me out.
Yeah, but I mean, it was like really frozen to the driveway.
It was.
Because it's like a gravel driveway. I wonder though if you put get like 2x4s or something that you could
I
just
wonder
drive
if
on
I
top.
need like snow chains just to get out of my.
Yeah, but then how are you gonna take them off? Because you'll tear up the road if it's not snowy. You can't just drive in snow chains. You might be able to get snow tires though.
Yeah, maybe.
Those are expensive, but it'll actually make your real tires last longer because you can trade them out, in the winter. Like go to the tire shop and have them put the new ones on or whatever.
Yeah.
The winter ones on and like winterize your car.
Maybe.
Chains on her tires, but she can't just drive around all town with chains on her tires if there's no snow on the road because it'll tear up the. I don't think you're supposed to do that.
I don't know, especially because my road that I'm on is
her road is like
brick,
antique cobblestone. Yeah. Like she'll ruin it. It lasted 200 years, and then Adrian's car ruins it. All right, I need to go get ready for Mastermind. Don't forget, if you're not in Mastermind and you're feeling some FOMO, email Adrian.
Mm-hmm.
And she will get you in. It's done. It's closed. Nobody's going to be able to get in after today. And in fact, nobody who's not part of our little morning crew can get in at all. So if you want in and you are not in, email Adrian. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. Adrian at ninjawriters.org. Put that in real quick. I'm very excited for it. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. See you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. or in the Mastermind if you're going to be there. Be there or be square. All right, bye.
Bye.